Hey everybody, welcome to Manga Palate. This is your host, Manga Chef Isaiah speaking. While with me, Placicia Yuna.
Wow, I don't even think you said my name right on that one.
Placicia Yuna?
Luna.
Yeah.
What? You
I
know
said
my
Luna.
last name. I'm hearing you say a Y. I'm actually hearing you say like you're running it together. Why can't you enunciate sometimes? Why is this a thing with us? I slur, you slur. It's never been great. Even when we're 5 feet from each other, most of the time we don't understand what's going on. Oh, jeez. But yes, this is Manga Palate. That's an entirely separate conversation. More an overall statement about the fact that we never understand each other. We'll sit at a table, we'll both say something, and then just neither one of us understood what the other said.
It happens.
Does it happen to everybody? I don't know if everybody is 5 feet away from each other and still doesn't know what the other one said. Jeez. What are we doing this week?
This week we're doing Demi-Chan Kataritai.
Oh, wow. No.
Kataritai.
Oh, that was close.
Kataritai.
Oh, jeez. Kataritai. It means interview.
Yeah.
But, thanks for trying. Thank you. You know I appreciate when you do stuff like this. Yeah, Demi-Chan wa Kataritai. It's an anime that ran from January 8th, 2017 to March 26th, 2017. Really recent, honestly. I find that the name is kind of interesting because, the way they write it, right? They write it Ajin, but it's insisted that it's pronounced Demi because Ajin means like non-human. But then they were like, no, demi-human. That sounds cuter, doesn't it? And I was like, that's a fun way to put it. And yeah, Demi-Chan wa Kataritai. It's ran for 12 episodes. I'm pretty sure the manga's been running since 2014.
Wait, so does Demi mean something different?
Demi isn't a Japanese word.
Oh, like demigod. Okay.
Yes. That's
just
actually the point.
Okay.
That she said, no, say it like Demi. It has the furigana, which is like a thing that they do in Japanese, because I think I've mentioned this before, but kanji technically has 3 to 5 ways to read it. So you can have the same symbol be pronounced 5 different ways. Because it's just the way the system works. So furigana is where you write either katakana or hiragana next to the kanji to tell the person, this is how I want you to say it. You know? So it's written Ajin, and in the first episode he says Ajin. And it's like, oh yeah, how do you non-humans, or I guess superhuman, it's a weird thing that I'm not entirely sure how to say in English, but how do you non-human beings or supernatural beings feel about it? And she's like, wow, you talk all stuffy. He goes, what? He's like, yeah, nobody says Ajin. Everybody says Demi. Doesn't it sound cuter? And he's like, okay, cool, let's go with that. And that's why the name is Demi-Chan wa Kataritai, where it's insisting on being pronounced the other way, rather than Ajin. Because, try to treat them just like regular people. Is the entire ethos of the show. So, what it is, I mean, let's go over the voice actors, right?
Hmm.
It's the teacher, Tetsuo Takahashi, voiced by Junichi Suwabe, who is Abachio on Part 5, Freed on Fairy Tail, and Greed in Full Metal Alchemist. Also, for the Fujos, Undertaker from Kuroshijuji, because I am down with the Fujo.
I was just about to
That's
say that.
yeah, yeah. You're correct in assuming that I was going to say that. I'd like that on the record. If I were to be what's it called, arraigned in a court system, and they do that thing where like, hey, swear yourself in so you won't lie, and I go like, what is your stance on Fujoshi? And I would have to say in front of a gilded flag of the Admiralty Court, I am down with the Fujos. Boy, was that an oddly specific joke. Great for me, but I don't think anyone else really cares. Um, Hikari Takanashi is voiced by Kaede Hondo. She was on Hinamatsuri as Hitomi. She was on Keijo. And she's on that show, Chiyo-chan no Sugakuro, which is written by a mangaka that I'm surprised he finally went straight. Good for him, because he used to do some weird shit. And then Kyoko Machi, who's voiced by Minami Shimoda, who was on Flying Witch in High School DxD. Then there's Yuki Kusakabe, who's voiced by Shina Natsukawa. I find that to be funny, if only to me, because her name not has summer in it, Natsu, and the other girl is Yuki Onna. But she was on Aikatsu. She was on Ryu no Oshigoto, and she was Polt on fucking Momosu, the Momosu OVA.
She's a dog that
Yeah.
has a boyfriend.
Yes, yes, yes. I was trying to remember that part. I'm like, does she? I think
Because I
she
think
likes
there's
the
like a
guy.
contest or something.
No.
When
That's different. That was the guy went to Japan and he was like, "Hey, Crabman, would you draw me into the manga with Polt?" And he's like, "Sure." And then he drew the guy into the manga, but it was the chapter where like he was getting carried away on a stretcher because he shattered his spine trying to follow Mia's Russian twist technique.
oh,
So
I
I
thought
don't,
he was the boyfriend.
I don't know if he was. That's what I mean. I mean, I think she mentions liking somebody. I can't remember. I do remember seeing him because he showed a picture of himself with Crabman, and then in the manga, eventually when it came out, everyone saw what was essentially his silhouette being carried away on a stretcher.
We are not talking about Monster Sume.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh, oh well, you got me on it.
I was just trying to
go-
make sure. But you
right.
know, it is related.
The monsters. Yeah, yeah. I'm almost is gonna be a while because I got a lot. I have a lot I'd say about that. Okay, and then there's the other teacher, Sakie Sato, voiced by Yoko Hikaza. Do I even need to list her credits anymore?
No,
Yeah, no, right? Okay,
not everything.
yeah. Also, two more that I feel are worth mentioning. One, she comes up a bunch. The other guy, he's only got the one episode, but the voice is why I wanted to talk about it. Himari Takanashi, who is Hikari's sister. Boy, their names are similar. I think they're actually both written in hiragana too, so it's like they didn't write her name as in light. They just wrote it out phonetically. But yeah, Himari is voiced by Lin. And I think we've mentioned Lin before because she was on Keijo and she's a real singer and she's on Fuka. Remember? Remember Lin?
Um, she's not Fuka, is she?
Yeah.
Oh, she is.
Yes. That
Yeah,
was
I
Lin.
remember.
Because they wanted her to actually sing.
Yeah.
And also, Kurz, the blonde German kid, I wanted to bring him up because he is voiced by Sora Amamiya, who, funnily enough, since we mentioned Momosu, is the voice of Mia on Momosu. She was also on Ishikan Friends, Nanatsu no Taizai, and she was the Badger on Killing Bites. Oh yeah, also she's the blue-haired one, Aqua on Konosuba. So I figured, people know those things. You have to know at least one of them. Just
Killing bites. Come on.
Just betting on popularity. You gotta know at least one of them. Konosuba is really big. I mean, I don't really like it, but that doesn't matter, does it? All right. And as for the opening, I only want to mention this because it's so interesting. So the opening is by Trisail. Trisail is a idol trio who was formed by Momo Asakura, who was also on Momosu as the mono eye girl. Shit, whose name I can't remember right now.
Uh,
You know who I mean,
yeah, I
right?
know. I'm trying to.
Was her name Eyeball? Was her name Hitomi?
I think it was something like. Yeah, I think it was something like that.
Oh fuck! I feel like that might have been her name, which is kind of mean because that means that her name is like Eyeball. Shit.
Oh
What
no,
was
it was
it?
Manko.
Monaco.
Monaco.
Yeah, you're right. Monaco. That's it. It sounds like monocle, which is still a one-eye joke, but because everybody's name in Momos is a joke. But anyway, yeah. So it's Momo Asakura, Sora Amamiya, who I said voiced Mia and his Kurz on this show, and Shina Natsukawa, who was Yuki. So there's that. Okay. So, what did you want to talk about with regards to the show? Oh, right, setup. I mean, you want to do it? You usually
I
do.
feel like it's in the title, but
Yeah, it feels like it's really obvious.
the thing that's different about it, like the guy interviewing Matsuro, but it's actually their biology teacher,
He's just the teacher.
or he's just a biology teacher.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he didn't even come into the school, like, knowing that this was going down.
No, he just really is fascinated.
Yeah. He's like, wow, you're not exactly human, but you're human. You're cool.
And another thing that's different is like they don't really press on like the monster girl aspect.
No, it's more just about them being accepted by society.
Yeah, and it's very slice of life.
Yep. Yep. That's why I mentioned Hikari's sister, because her sister just kind of hangs out.
hmm And they have like so the vampire is not like a stereotypical vampire.
Hikari is a vampire,
hmm
Kyoko is a Dulhan, and Yuki is a Yukiona. Oh, also, Sakie is a succubus. So, that's pretty much it.
Like I wanna talk about all the characters. I mean, not the
No, I was just saying
important
what they are.
characters.
Let's go.
Okay. So how do you say her name again? Hiraki.
Which one? Hikari?
Hikari.
Hiraki, what the fuck? Did you
Hikari.
get Shohiko Araki?
I think so.
Maybe. Because it sounded like you were trying to say Araki. But go on.
Hikari. She's the vampire, and I'm like,
I'm sorry. That made me laugh. Because the first thing I said is she's a vampire, and then you
Yeah.
reiterate it.
just gotta let you know.
Gotta let you know. She's a vampire. Have I mentioned Hikari's a vampire? She's a
If
vampire.
You didn't know. She's a
If you
vampire.
didn't know, now you know. She's a vampire.
We're so stupid.
Yeah, this is stupid, but I'm laughing, so I'm happy.
Alright, so Hikari, the vampire.
The vampire.
Um, she can see her own reflection and like go outside and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's not like mythological stuff.
And
It's funny because fucking Iron Man. It's literally his goddamn name. Because Iron Man is a biology teacher. By interacting with the girls, he learns a lot about how their physiology might have led to the myths that persist about them, even though they're not accurate.
she just feels a little dizzy when she
Yeah,
hangs out too much.
she loves garlic. She loves the shit out of garlic. Also, the not liking bright lights is just because liking the sun is just because her eyes are sensitive to bright lights.
Yeah, and she's nocturnal. Well,
Yeah.
she can see farther in the dark or something like that.
Mm-hmm. They got the larger photocellular receptors, like cats. You know how like your eyes dilate so that you can get more reception in low light. Yeah, her eyes are like that all the time. So that's sort of what it does. Does drink blood though?
Yeah, she needs She gets blood from the government once a month.
Oh shit! Can we talk about that? I like that a lot. That part where he's like, "Okay, so you don't drink blood from people." I was like, "No, it's like really personal." He's like, "Hmm." So it's like kissing. She's like, I mean, yeah, yeah." He's like, "No, wait. It carries another social like he just goes on these long-winded, fucking to himself monologues. I
Like
guess.
a theory.
Yeah, it's like theoretical monologues, but it's to himself. He says them out loud, like in plays, but he doesn't really think about anyone around him. He's just going on. And I think one of my favorite things is like, no, wait. Based on everything she told me, the better analog is sex. And the girl just goes, and he's like, huh? Oh shit, I'm sorry. Like I can see how that must have been like upsetting and weird. And he's like, it's not like sex. You, you're dirty. And he's like, oh, okay, fine, sure. I
I feel
love
like it
this.
would go somewhere if they were both the same age, but
I love this guy.
it's
This
not
guy's
the same
great.
show.
Also, he's jacked.
Hmm.
He is sick shredded. Like,
Triple biceps.
I am fascinated by how shredded he is because he's a biology teacher, right? So biology degrees require a lot of information and a lot of like memorization. Like, have you ever taken a basic biology course? It's a bunch of shit to remember. So the idea that he has at least a master's and spent that much time at a gym or something
Probably
is
memorizing
amazing.
while he was working out.
Yeah, I love the idea of watching a dude like rocking a butterfly press at like 350 while having like a fucking like Grey's Anatomy textbook in his legs and looking down.
That could be its own show.
I love that. That could be its own show. The Genius Bodybuilder. That's fun. But yeah, Hikari likes garlic. Also, when she bites, she says a weird thing. She calls it like nib nib. She's been doing it since
Oh
she was a
yeah,
kid. Childish way to say it.
because she doesn't like bite them.
Yeah,
She nibbles at
she
them.
just nibbles. It's apparently her teeth itch is the thing. So that's what it is.
There's like a lot of stuff to this character. I just realized. Like
All
each
of
the
them,
characters.
honestly, because that's the point, right? It's about learning how they can like come to just be, despite being different and how there's having so much to them, they're still just every other teenage girl, you know. That's kind of the point. That despite seeming to be very different and feeling like you might need to like segment yourself, but when you talk to them, you just realize they're just kids. Like as much as you want to think, oh man, they're super different. I mean, yeah, but she's still like a 15-year-old girl.
Yeah. But
Uh,
she keeps leaving her blood plaques in the main fridge, which is gross.
she is a child. That's how I think of it. I think of it as like the kind of laziness of a of a child.
She
As
got
a
like
matter
a
of fact,
C on a test, right?
yep, she's
Like
not very bright. That was her working hard. Remember,
Mhm.
she is not a very bright girl. I remember there was that bit where he was like, okay, so what determines tasting good? And he's like, I don't know. He goes like, when do you like and when do you not like things? He goes like, it sounds like it's a connection to like pretty much average food. Because he goes like, Yuki tastes great. She's chill. She's like she's like a very very sweetness, and like fucking Takahashi that said the biology teacher. Oh no, he seems hairy. I don't want to fucking bite or like. I was like, okay, cool. And then like I remember that the end of that was he goes, huh. Well, if it's anything, if biting does carry an odd sexual connotation, but it has to do with like compatibility of physiology, then wouldn't it lead to making sense that Sato Sensei, the succubus, because of the way that because of the way her genetics work, it would probably lead to me to believe that she would taste the best. And then like the girls are just staring at him, and like, "What do you mean she tastes the best?" And he's like, I mean, you're gross." And he's like, "Why? Why?" Whatever, whatever.
That was a good setup.
That's a lot. It's a lot of things. He just kind of sits there and mumbles to himself, or like starts writing on a board. He's like, "These are true. This is true. This is true. This is false." Okay, fine. Start working from there. So yeah, that's Hikari. I like Kyoko a lot. Machi, she's fun.
Do you want to save her for last? Because
Okay, sure.
I feel like she has the most going on.
I feel Sato has the most, the teacher.
With
Like
her
I feel
monster powers or
no, just to
oh,
talk
in
about.
general?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, okay, let's talk about Yuki then. The Giona.
The
I
still lady.
am I am amazed at how much she loves really stupid jokes. Like,
Yeah.
man, she loves dumb jokes. I like. All right, so they introduce her, and then like she's very calm, she's very cool, and it's like, is that supposed to be something about her as a person? And it's like, oh no, it's because she's like really anxious about the fact that she is not exactly human. She's afraid that she can hurt other people around her, and she like when she cries, her tears are frozen, and she feels like weird about it. She's like, I always stand out, and there's nothing I could really do about it. And she's like, I don't sweat like regular people. And he's like, no, you do. You sweat ice. It's funny. Because she was like, I don't sweat. I don't think I can handle the heat. I don't know. I just feel really different. And he has a nice talk with her. He's like, oftentimes when I'm talking about to these girls, I'm more focused on the fact that they're not exactly human, but then I forget they are still teenage girls with teenage girl issues of wanting to be accepted and wanting to make friends and shit like that. So Hikari ends up becoming really close to her, and then as a result, Machi joins in. I don't know, the three of them are nice little friends. But they after showing her to like loosen up, they make a point of saying, "Look, she has all these other regular teenage girl shit about her, and damn, does she love dumb joke books." I am, oh, she
I
has a
thought that was
passion.
like classic literature or something.
No, it wasn't. She was reading stupid bullshit joke manga like constantly. It's kind of impressive how in she is. Like, you ever meet somebody who like likes comedy in the way that like I like music? Like they just know way tons more about it than you think you could know.
Yeah.
Apparently, she's like that. Because remember, there's that part where she's talking to Sato, and like Sato sees her reading the gag manga, and she goes like, "Oh shit, there's somebody reading the gag manga." And he's like, "Oh, I used to read that when I was a kid." She's like, "Really?" Like, "Yeah, I have a bunch of those books at home." And the girl just goes, "Do you mind if I borrow those?" Like immediately. And she tries really hard not to laugh because she doesn't want to seem like goofy.
Hmm.
And I think that's kind of funny. I don't know. So I never personally understood the whole needing to appear a certain way to your classmates. But then again, I ignore people, so maybe that has something to do with it.
I thought she was just like trying to make sure no one knows that she's really in.
Yeah, but I mean, like, why does that matter?
Eh, I don't know.
That's my thing. It's like I don't care. Like I've never been one to care, but I think that's just because I don't actually pay attention to people.
She probably thought she'd be like uncool or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That I don't understand that feeling because I just go like this is fun and I don't really pay attention. And that's why I tend to do shit that makes me go, I should leave so I don't annoy people. Because I'm not going to stop doing the thing, but I have to leave. Like every time I'm practicing guitar, I try to actively make as minimal noise as possible, but I'm not going to stop. Like that's not a thing that's going to happen.
Maybe she
I,
doesn't
just,
want to annoy people. I don't know.
I don't know what's annoying about reading a stupid book.
Well, laughing at something.
Yeah. Yeah, well, no, I don't even think it's that because the way she phrases it in the thing is she's like, I don't want anyone to know that I read these books,
Uh,
That implies that she thinks there's something goofy or stupid about reading the book, or I think that she feels that she needs to put up this certain kind of personality because she wants to present herself in a certain way, which I understand that. But there's something about the concern of other people noticing that maybe you're not that I don't get. It's like Shiragami and wanting to be a cool lady, back in Jitsu Awatashiwa.
mhm.
It's like that, where it's like, I don't get it. It's funny. Don't get me wrong. I just don't get it. But she's a teenager. That makes sense. Being like way too obsessed with appearances. That's kids. All right. Now what? Who do you want to go to?
I
Either
guess
Machi or the
Machi.
teacher. Okay, I like her a lot.
Yeah.
She's fun.
She's
She's
really
like
sweet.
she's a really sweet kid. I like her. Oh man. Okay, so she's a Dulhan. I feel that we've mentioned Yukiona and everyone knows what vampires. Do people know what Dulhans are?
We'll
Uh,
just say it for
no, I
clarity.
mean that's what I mean. Like, do people know
I'm
that?
pretty sure they do.
Okay, well, I guess better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Dulhans are this like Irish folklore thing about like a person whose head is separated from their body, and where their neck is, it's like a fire thing going on. And like fucking Irish folklore, Dualhans ride on black horses and usually carry their head on their arms. Most of them are dudes, but some of them are chicks, and they're also supposed to like laugh. And if you see it's supposed to be like you're gonna die. And also they have a whip that's made out of a human spine. That's the story. This girl is nothing like that. She is
She,
sweet and adorable and soft.
she has a little pillow for her head.
Aw, I love that. I love that she has the little sling thingy where she puts her head in sometimes when she needs to run. Also, she has a huge crush on fucking Takahashi.
Yep.
And, I mean, it's just because he's nice. He is a really, really nice guy, but man, also, what, was it the last one or was it the second to last one where they all go to the pool?
I
And
think it
he's
was the
like,
last one.
yeah, they all go to the pool, and he's like, I don't really know if I can get in the pool with you kids. I'm supposed to be watching you and stuff. They're like, oh, come on, we got the pool and whatever. He's like, yeah, I don't really know. And so he calls, I think it's Hikari's dad. He goes like, do you think this is cool? And then they go like, yeah, sure, whatever. Just keep an eye on the kids. He's like, okay. And then he switches into his trunks, and he is fucking jacked.
Was it a Sato?
No, Sato and Machi lose their shit. Cause Sato's thing is she just goes like, and then cause like she shows up and she was there, and he's like, oh hey, if you want, you can go in the pool with the kids. I'll stay out here. And
I
then
thought
she,
Sato's watching over them.
no, she also got dressed.
Uh,
Remember, she was wearing the sweater to cover her swimsuit. Cause her weird succubus powers are based on how much physical contact and skin she shows. So she's like constantly worried about it, which is a real thing as far as the policeman has told us, you know. But yeah, she's like wearing the sweater, and she's like, yeah, I'm not really gonna go in. And he goes like, no, you should go in, have fun with the girls. And he's like, yeah, okay. He's like, I'm just gonna stay out here. And then like when he finally switches to get into his trunks, he's like just shredded, so big, so buff, it's nuts. And like Sato's just like fucking losing her shit. But then Machi does too. Like apparently when she gets really excited, her Dulhan fire thing just goes like off. It goes out there. I like that. That's funny. Also, there's that time he takes her to see the scientist guy who goes, maybe the space between your neck and your head is like a wormhole. And she just starts being completely fascinated with like astrophysics.
the guy that's always smiling.
Yeah. Well, his school friend.
Yeah.
Like Takahashi chose biology, and this other guy chose theoretical physics.
And she wants to become just like him.
Yeah. Well, as I mean, she was like interested at the wormhole conversation. And she's like, "Wow, I know. I never really thought about how my head and my body actually work. Because I do eat. I don't know." And then like they did a test that proves that she's got a neck. I forget what happens when you touch the fire. What was it? People go like, "Oh, it feels like wind." What was it?
Yeah, it feels like a hole or a air hole, something like that.
Yeah, that's it. Ah, that was funny. Or that was interesting at the very least. I more find her crush on the teacher funny. Because he's just like, hey kids, how's it going? And she's like, ugh, meh. There's that episode where Hikari convinces her to use the idea of testing moving her body around as an excuse for what is functionally a date to her.
Oh
Versus the
yeah.
teacher just sees it as like, I guess I'll just walk with the kid. Let's experiment. But like Machi is losing her shit. because he's carrying her around, and she was like, "Oh, he has really muscly arms." I'm like, "Okay, all right, this is where we're going." Uh-huh.
And she could
Like,
like write while her head is
yeah,
separated.
well, her body's doing it. So I feel like you don't need to look to write. Actually, functionally speaking, you don't need to
Well,
look to write.
on lines to make sure it's neat, but she does it perfectly.
Yeah, I don't think. Oh, does she? I thought it was just legible.
I thought they said it was really good.
And her handwriting in general is really good. But yeah. So that's her. I like her. She's nice. What was it that they said to her? Because like he holds her and he goes like, "Oh, maybe when I hold her, her head shakes a bit too much. Maybe I should hold her more like this." And she explains how she holds her body, or holds her head. And I think it was, what was it? She's like, "Oh, my mom used to hold my head," and she was like, "So this is really nice." I was like, "Oh, that's sweet." I can imagine that like there's a sort of physical kinship you can make, being how you are versus the way other people would have to do it, because your head is so precariously separated from your body that can be a bit disconcerting at times. But the this sort of sense of skinship that you can develop with it too must be very comforting, because it's like the way an infant listens to its mother's heart when it's recently been born. I was like, oh, it was really nice. Nice guy on the up and up. Then there's Sato. I feel she has the most interesting overall background, because there's so much stuff going on there. And yeah, I mean, she's a succubus, so that's sort of the thing. But I'm more interested in the overall thing. So it's like her body has a weird pheromone or something. Something about like physical contact and like up here, just looking at her makes guys get really, really gross. And if she falls asleep, then they also get really gross dreams, which doesn't mean that she's doing anything. She's just asleep. So I don't really think that it's that her dreams are gross and therefore get sent to other people. I think it's just about by being around people, you know?
She makes them get weird dreams.
Yeah, that's what she said. She said I have to make sure to not fall asleep on the train, because if I do, people get gross dreams. And she said for that reason I can't live in an apartment complex. I had to move out here all the way out. Remember, she takes a very long train trip to her like 1-story house that's like really out in the sticks. Why? Because when she sleeps, that's what she does to people. So she has to not stay away from people in order to, sort of to handle that.
Yeah, I kind of suck.
Yeah, it's really fucked. And on top of that, there's no like active control she has over it. You know, it's just a physiology thing. So she can't really do shit about it.
Besides, like, try to prevent it as much as possible.
Well, yeah, but prevention isn't the solution. That's not like it's like, you know what they say. It's like prevention only stops it from happening as long as you can keep preventing it, but that doesn't stop its potential from ever happening. You know. So it's like she ends up having to do that. She also can't wear like kind of, I don't know. It feels like she has to forcibly dress frumpy just because, but because even if she gets normally, like in a very normal blouse and either skirt or pants or dress pants or whatever, for some reason people look at her and go, bleh, bleh. Men specifically, I think. I don't think women do anything unless maybe physical contact also does something. I'm not sure.
No,
Yeah.
because Hiraki
Hikari.
Hikari. God,
Hikari says she's pretty, but I don't think that's like anything.
I thought she like nibbled on her and said she didn't feel anything.
She said she didn't taste particularly great, I think. What I remember about that was there was a thing about the girls all wanting to hug Takahashi. He's like, yeah, okay, kids. And then she like leans over and goes like, and he's like, what? No. What the fuck? No. And she's like, okay. So she's into him because she thinks he's not affected, which I find funny. So like, I don't remember what the circumstances were, but he bumped into her, right? And he offered to help her up with his hand. And then she goes like, no, whenever I touch someone, they go nuts. And it's because like succubi in general, they all have that thing going on. So there's like a group of cops who are constantly like out and about being aware of what demis are having happen to them, or what's up to in general. Because say some random guy touches a succubus girl inappropriately, you cannot say for certain whether it was him just doing it because he wanted to or because something she did triggered her weird aphrodisiac effect, right? It's the literal most he said she said shit ever. It's not a thing you can actually prove in court anyway, right?
Hmm.
So because of that, the cops are always like trying to keep up and pay attention to what's happening. So they had Ugaki, who's like I want to say he's a detective, who's like has been keeping an eye on her since she was like, I don't know, 14.
Yeah.
What was it? I don't know if she was in high
I
school.
think it was in middle school.
Middle school? Okay, so she was like fucking 12. He's been keeping an eye on her since he was 12, and he's sort of like a pseudo father figure at this point. She's never mentioned her family, which I wonder what that's about. Because the other girls, they mention their family. Well, not Yuki, but Machi and Hikari. You actively meet Hikari's sister, Timari, and you see their parents. You also hear about Machi's parents constantly, how they deal with the fact that she's a Duhan. Because, there are some precautions you would need in the fact that the girl has a head separate from her body. She could actually drown while taking a bath if she isn't careful. But yeah, so it's funny that they have to keep an eye on Sato, if not for the sake of others, for the sake of her, because something could happen to her at any given moment because she can't really control her power. It's the natural thing. It's a physiological thing. It's like the fact that you are a certain height. There's nothing you can really do about that.
Is the manga finished?
No,
Oh, so
no,
they might.
no,
It
it's
might
still
be a
going.
whole thing. Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so she's he helps her up, and he doesn't seem to react. Like he doesn't seem to be gross or weird or anything. He just smiles. He goes like, "All right, you okay?" And she goes, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, cool. See you later." And he just does whatever the fuck he was about to do. And he like circles a wall, and she's just thinking to herself, "He didn't react. Maybe because like there's a concern there, and I get it. I get super where she's coming from. Due to the nature of her aphrodisiac thing, you can't actually know whether the person likes you or if they like you because of the aphrodisiac thing, right? You don't actually know for certain, and at that point, in the trust that is required for a romantic relationship to be a thing, that's a really really fucked up and ambiguous way to go into it. Do they like you for you, or do they like you because of this thing that you can't control that makes people like you? You know?
And then she just avoids people.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
altogether.
part of it. She wears like clothes that cover her up as much as possible. She wears like a tracksuit and stuff like that. She lives really far away from people. She tries to ride the latest train so that she doesn't have to be that physically close to anybody. Just because overall, it's a little bit worrying for more than one reason. If somebody were to do something to her, they could call and say, like, oh, well, I mean, it was her stupid aphrodisiac thing. And there's nothing you could really do about that. Like, there's no way to prove or that it was or it wasn't. And she has to she has to live in a single story house because her stupid power makes it so that everyone around her gets all weird whenever she's asleep. Like, it's not even about them being asleep, it's about her being asleep. She just affects people around her. And I find that also that to be probably what led to her loving beer so much. It's like, I'm alone. I got nothing to do. Fuck it, let's get drunk.
Best way to deal with it.
Best way to just chill. Fuck it. But yeah. So he touches her, he helps her up with his hand, then he fucking circles out and he was like, alright, peace. And then she's like, wow, I don't think he was affected. I think that means I could genuinely find myself liking him, and he could probably genuinely like me. And then, like, it's funny because he circles the wall and he, like, stands against the fucking wall with his back, and he's like, what the fuck was that? Oh, God, it felt like my entire insides were going to rip themselves out of my body. Jesus, is that what happens when you touch a succubus? Oh, fuck, that's nuts. Oh, I really had to stop myself there. That was fucking awful. And still, she thinks he's unaffected. So, Ugaki, like I said, the detective that keeps over her, she mentions him to her in a very kind of like ambiguous way. She's like, okay, so here's a hypothetical. Say I like a guy. What what can I do? And he's like, is it a guy you got with your thing? No, no. I just, he's a nice guy, smart guy, big muscular man. He's like, why are we talking about this? It's like, who else do I talk to? He's like, right, okay. I mean, I don't know. I guess see how he feels about you. Don't you think it's weird that he didn't react to you whatsoever? I kind of don't believe that that's possible. She's like, no, he didn't. Shut up. I know what I saw. Sure, whatever, kiddo. Fucking, I like that. And then when Ugaki happens to come to the school with Kurtz, the little German boy, fucking the kid who puts people in an arm bar.
We're still doing that.
Never stop bringing the arm bar up. You know what's great against defending people? Putting people in an armbar. It's one weird trick to get the girls to love you. Put them in an armbar.
Works on succubus too.
Works on everybody. There's not a single person that can't be like pacified by an armbar.
I guess person or monster.
Yeah, there's no humanoid figure out there that can't be pacified by an armbar. Are you about to be attacked by a gorilla? Put it in an armbar. Editors note, not condone fist fighting gorillas. They will kill you. They are 10 times stronger than a human being.
We're not reliable.
We're not reliable. We are not liable for anything that happens. I want an explicit disclaimer here. But so he meets her, or he meets Takahashi, and he goes like, "Hey, how's it going?" He goes, "Oh, hi, how's it going, sir?" And he tells him he's a detective, and then he goes like, he's about to light a cigarette. He's like, "Sir, you can't smoke there." And he's like, "Okay, where?" And he goes like, "Well, there's a smoking room for the staff." And he goes over and he smokes. And the guy's like sitting there smoking. He's talking, just like, "Hey, so how do you feel about Sato?" He's like, "She's cool. She's been very helpful with me having to get closer to the girls. I feel she's much more of a connection with the girls than I do because they're also Demi, so they kind of have a better understanding than I do. She does very good at her job. Nice lady." He goes like, "Nice, huh? You better keep your shit about you." He's like, "What?" Like, she's I don't really get why she likes you, but she likes you. He's like, I don't get what you're talking about. He's like, whatever. And then he gives him a cigarette, and he goes like, "Wow, I haven't smoked in years." And then Takahashi has a cigarette. Also, now realizing, the teacher and Hikari have very similar last names.
Really?
Like phonetically, rather than like written. Because written, they're completely different. But if you were to pronounce it, like Takahashi and Takanashi. Hikari is Takanashi, and Tetsuo is a Takahashi.
Takahashi, yeah.
And with an H.
and N.
Yeah. But other than that, everything else is the same. Character-wise, they're written with kanji, and they're completely different kanji. So, like, there's no way to get the confusion. But pronunciation, those are very similar. I now realize that. Huh. That's interesting. Also interesting, he's the first girl he talks to. Good kid. Dumb kid, but good kid. I meant to ask, how do you like the opening animation thing? Where, like, Hikari's using the stupid cape to flap it around like an idiot.
Yeah, I'm a vampire.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, vampire, bye. I don't know why that makes me laugh so much. It's fucking just going like, yeah, check it out. Like she's the hypest one out of all of her friends. Like Machi's a very shy girl, and Yuki's like really kind of Kusakabe's like really like what's the word, restrained. But Takanashi runs around being mad hype, yelling at people, just doing dumb shit. Like there's that part where the girls are a bit like aggressive to Kusakabe because they're like, I don't really know her. I don't know. She's really cold, And then like Hikari stands up to them on behalf of Kusakabe, just kind of cuz. And the girls to go like, I didn't even mean to be mean. I was just kind of saying that she seems like reserved. She's like, well, don't you think that that's kind of an assumption, a presumptuous thing to say? Do you know how she feels about this? I was like, wow, this is a whole thing. I can't even remember if they were actively bullying her, but they sure as shit like would like insult her. Mostly in very, very snarky sides. But
Because she
yeah,
was a little bit different.
yeah.
And it
And
goes back to the whole, like, they just want to fit in. So,
again, it's very little to do with them actually being monsters. I think like them being non-human is less so important than them than the humanity of them as being non-human. Because everybody wants to fit in. Everybody wants to have friends. Everybody wants to not have to worry about whether people are actually like them or not. You know, there's a connection that yeah everybody wants to make. Humans are social animals. That is the byline of this entire narrative. That them being monsters is more of a secondary thing. It's sort of a thing that they might have anxiety about, but that in and of itself doesn't really do anything. And I think that's like that's nice. Fuck. What was I gonna say? There's something about
you're talking about the two girls.
no. It was something about. I was gonna say something. It was about. Oh yeah, there's that part where Hikari kisses him on the cheek.
Oh, yeah.
And then like I think that was back to the biting is sex analogy. But I think what made me laugh about that is that immediately afterwards, Machi tries. Machi tries super hard to do it too, and she almost gets hurt. And because she almost gets hurt, fucking Takahashi loses his shit. He's like, "What the hell is wrong with you? What are you trying to do? For God's sake, just be careful." And then she like gets sad, and he's like, "Ah, it's okay, kiddo. Now I'm just worried about you kids because you can all get hurt in tons of ways, and you never really know what could happen. You're still kids, you know." And she's like, "Aw," and I'm like, "I'm amazed. She's just trying this hard to peck him on the cheek." And that's when she took him to go see the his friend, the theoretical physics guy, Soma, right? Was it Soma?
Um, yeah.
Yeah,
Souma.
yeah, Soma. Okay. Well, anything else you wanted to say?
If her head falls on the floor, she's pretty much done, right?
Yeah. If no one can get to it, she would drown.
Yeah.
That's why like her parents are always so worried. They mention constantly that it was like, oh yeah, no, my mom and dad don't really like doing this or don't like me doing that, because you know they're worried, which is pretty reasonable. There's a level to which she is a lot more vulnerable than other people, you know.
Hmm. And how far she could go through like all Japan, right? But
Yeah, she makes a joke about one time forgetting your head at her grandparents' house.
how do you
And
do
I don't.
that?
That's kind of what I thought because I was like, wouldn't your parents have fucking realized something was up?
Or
How
does she
did your
have buy
parents
everything on
get
a
you on
train?
the train? How did
Yeah.
your parents get you on the train, and then you make it cross the goddamn country, and then they go, "Oh shit, where's her head?" Like that. It's hours.
They didn't
That's,
hear her talking or anything.
they didn't hear her say a goddamn word. If anything, wouldn't the grandparents have also noticed that she was still here?
Can she move her body too and be like,
I
hey?
guess. I don't know. It was just a gag thing. They're like, "Oh yeah, no. I mean, my head and my body can be really, really far apart." And I was like, "Okay." Well, anything else?
Um, the sister, Hamari.
Yeah.
Uh, well, we didn't go over, but she doesn't really do much saying.
I mean, all she's ever there for is to show her relationship with her sister. Like, there's that part where like Himari thinks that Takahashi did something with Takanashi because she met with his sister Hikari because Hikari says something to the effect of, "Oh yeah, I kissed him," and like she goes up to him and goes like, "I don't know why your sister says things so vaguely. That's not exactly what happened. She pecked me on the cheek, sort of." Or I think it was something a lot more vague because then it leads to yeah, also I kissed him, so don't be weird. I was like, jeez. Her sister also does her hair and everything. They're twins, aren't they?
Mhm.
Like fraternal twins. Her mother is the vampire. Her father's just a guy. And then apparently her being blonde has to do with her being a vampire. Because Hikari is blonde, but Himari has red hair.
She dyed it.
Well, no, her dad dyes it. His hair. Her hair is
Uh,
blonde.
I
Her
thought
dad.
Hamari dyed it to make her like not feel like her hair is weird or something like that.
No, it's that they talked about dyeing her hair, and they didn't really say anything about it. It's the dad who dyes his hair blonde so that his daughter doesn't stand out too much, so that she can still feel like the same as the rest of his family. Because none of them have blonde hair. It's just Hikari.
Uh,
It's what Himari does do for her is she puts her hair in those little like bun things that she has on her head. Because I can't remember what it was, but she shows up at one point and her hair isn't done up, and they go like, "Why is your hair different?" She's like, "Oh, my sister wasn't awake to do it for me." And I go, "What?" She says, "Yeah, my sister does it for me. I don't fucking do it. You think I would do it? It's so complicated." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry about how much you impose on your sister. I feel bad." But I mean, all she ever does is like act way serious and work hard to make sure her sister's fine. Ironically, despite the fact that they're always like arguing about something, they're very, very close. Which reminds me of that very Japanese saying of, "Wow, they argue a lot. I guess they're close," because it takes a certain level of familiarity with someone before you can fuck with them.
Hamari was gonna lose her shit when she thought she couldn't see through mirrors or something.
Yeah,
She was like, "That's why she relies on me so much." Oh
yeah.
no.
She's like, "Oh God, can she not see herself in the mirror? Oh man, that must make doing her hair and then it's like, no, she can. She just fucking doesn't want to do it." um,
Also, Kurtz is like,
I mean, he's a new learning cop. I don't
yes,
understand what his thing is, but he's on the team.
they said he's like more immune to succubus effects.
Yeah, but that's not really. He's still like 12. I mean, like I'm amazed that the cops were like, "Get him now. Get him on the case now."
He's not even good at hiding. He's a private detective.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he puts that guy in an armbar. Regular people don't just put each other in arm bars. You have to be like either a military or a martial arts guy to just randomly put a person in an arm bar. Like, why does Laura do it? She's a weird military nut job. Of course she just puts people in arm bars.
I thought she was trying to make sure she had her wife or whatever. Yeah, make sure she had her wife.
Well, no, it was, he puts his hands out, because you're fucking naked, get off of me, what are you doing? And then, she goes, "Oh, I get it," and then put him in an arm bar. And he goes, "Ow, what the fuck?" And she goes, "I get it. You need to work on your mat technique, though. I took you down real easy."
God, that was the thing.
Literally just cuz. And in this case, he's like, "Oh, that guy seems dangerous. Put him in an arm bar." And it's like, what? No. Kurtz, what are you doing? And up until then, Sato was like, "Oh, this kid's lost. I should help him." And he just fucking put somebody in an arm bar. She was like, "What the hell are you doing, kid?" And then Ugaki says, "Hey, kid, stop." And it's like, "Oh shit, I got a boss." And they go both look at fucking Ugaki, go, "Boss." And he explains that he's on the stupid cop squad. And I'm like, isn't he like 12? You couldn't wait till he got like older? You needed him now? And I'm like, I guess you needed him now.
They're really low on
Staff, I guess.
or like succubus people. Anti-succubus workers.
Oh, right. I forgot to mention. Also, there's an invisible girl. But she very rarely comes up. I think in the show she comes up in the last episode. But like in the manga, I think she's come up twice.
I didn't notice her. No pun
It's,
intended.
it's, it's the last episode where they go to like the fucking summer festival. And they go like, "Oh wow, holy shit, what's that?" And then he meets an invisible girl, and then they're at school, and he goes, how do you look? How do you know this? And he's like, well, and he explains like when you close your eyes, can you still see? And then he like gives you the whole rundown. And then he uses, I want to say, makeup. They use makeup to like make her face clear. And he goes like, wow, you're really pretty. And she's like, fucking, because he just kind of says things. He said, I don't think he means anything by it, but there's a weird, there's a weird reaction everybody gets. Everybody gets really uppity about it. They either get excited, or they're like, I don't know how to deal with that. When he's not even really talking to them most of the time. Most of the time he's just saying shit. It's interesting. Like when he was having the whole little monologue, he's like, I get it, biting and drinking blood is like sex. And then he kind of goes like, fucking, you're filthy. He's like, what? Oh shit, right. What a fun time this was. It's a slice of life thing, so I mean, there's nothing really to say in terms of events. They're just all kind of hanging out.
Yeah, they're mostly in the school or they go out to
And
like
just hang out.
yeah.
It's great though. I loved it. Loved it now just as much as I did last time.
It's like a slice of life with a lot of stuff going on with it.
Yeah, there's stuff going on, but it's still just a slice of life thing. All right, so we good now? Food?
One last thing.
Oh sure, go ahead.
Pretty sure it's given, but she looks amazing.
That was pretty. Pretty
Especially
show.
the first episode.
Pretty TV show. That's what I mean. I like that opening. That opening's like really nice. It's really nice looking.
The window and the rain. Looking
Mhm.
inside.
The pop-up book effect.
hmm
Pop-up book effect is like seamless. Anything else?
Yeah, that's it.
Okie dokie. Food. Kinda sweet. Something going on with it. Would you say it's heavy?
No.
It's not like really existential and emotional. There's some bits, but it's not. It's more just thematics than it is like an actual narrative through line. You know, it's not like I gotta watch my boyfriend die of cancer. Kimi no Irumachi. Ugh, I never get over that. Okay. So where do you want to go with this? Sweet. Not very heavy, but heavier than a Tic Tac.
Not too much on the romance. So not too
No, not very sweet. No, but I feel that there's also a lightness to the way that they interact. You know, just like the Tic Tac.
sweet. I wanted to say maybe there's some like Yuri stuff going on, but I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't really feel it, but you know, I also don't know how to look for lesbian undertones because I've
When
never.
she was tasting them to see how they taste like.
Yeah, but it was like on their arm. It wasn't like sensuously licking their neck or something. She bites her sister's arm all the time.
Yeah, I thought it was like implying.
Nah, I don't think it was anything really.
Yeah.
I would have expected something a little more overt than that. Not like just fucking shoving her tongue in someone's mouth, but you know, something. Something that implies they're really interested in each other. Rather than just, hey, here, let me bite.
Sweet, but not too sweet. And it's light. I'm thinking of a candy.
What kind of candy?
Would you say Skittles is too sweet?
I say Skittles is really sweet.
Yeah. Man. I was gonna say it could be like all the different types.
No, I think. Hmm.
It's
Mm.
been a while since you got stuck like this.
To be fair, this is a much more ambiguous show. Like the other ones are a lot easier to understand. Oh, hey, how's about a lollipop?
I think that's kind of sweet too. Depends
You
on the
think it's too
lollipop.
sweet? I don't really know. I haven't had many that are like, oh fuck, that's a lot. You know, like most lollipops I have aren't like chocolate bars.
You usually dip it in water, right?
I do, but that's me.
Isn't that because it's too sweet?
No, that's just because I like it when I love on neutral. The lollipop itself isn't very sweet to me. At least not compared to like, if it's like a Charms blow pop, then yeah, them shits are sweet as hell. But I mean like a Tiger Pop, you know? Have you ever seen Tiger Pops? I feel like you have. They're everywhere.
The
I don't
small
think you can
ones.
go anywhere. They're small. They're like red, white, and green, or
Yeah.
sometimes orange, white, and green.
Yeah, I think I had it.
Yeah, I don't think those are too sweet. They're sweet enough, at least.
And the lollipops are super light.
Mm-hmm. There's that. Because this isn't super light. It still has weight to it. Okay, so maybe like pound cake.
Pound cake.
Pound cake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sweet. Not too sweet.
Not too heavy,
It's pretty
but
soft.
has a weight to it. Yeah, pound cake.
All right.
Man, moving to cake was the answer for me.
Should we just always move to cake?
I like the idea that we have a shirt that says "Move to cake" if you're not sure, and then underneath it says "If you're still here, you get it." When you're not sure, move to cake. If you're still here, you get it. Manga Palate.
Does that mean cake
Oh,
is
by the-
ambiguous?
Yeah. By the way, everybody, we are looking into stupid merch, mostly to buy for ourselves. Have you ever thought about making a shirt just for you? I know I have. I designed a shirt for me, literally. That's a thing that's gonna happen. If I do make the shirt, I'll take a picture of myself and put it up here, just so you people can see it.
I'll probably put it on the video.
Probably put it in the video at the
Buy
very
our
end.
merch.
Yeah, buy buy our merch, and then there's no link to anything. We say that, but there's nothing. There's no shark robot. There's no nothing. It's just buy our merch. Where? Who knows? Make it yourself, I guess. And then that
email us or something.
expenditure shall be put onto Manga Palette. Oh man. Okay. So this is where I want to introduce a new segment called "Oh shit, I'm hyped." This is the thing I wanted to workshop, which is essentially, hey, let's mention a thing we're excited about. That's it.
Okay. Like something that's coming up.
Something that's coming up in the week or something that you've been getting into recently. You go first.
I've been liking Fighting EX Slayer. It's on the PC now.
Really?
hmm
That's the one made by fucking shit. What is it?
I think it was Kira.
Aki.
Aki. Yeah.
They own because the name is Fighting Layer, right? And Street Fighter EX put together. So it's Fighting EX Layer.
hmm
Although Fighting Layer EX would probably make more sense, but what are you gonna do about it?
The combos are super hard.
Are they?
Like
What is it, like heavy or like what? What is it?
it's there's no Oki combos. There's no Oki pickup. And
Oh.
like okay, I'll just explain. So you do like a jump heavy kick.
Yeah.
You have to micro dash when you hit the ground, and do like crouching light, medium, and then cancel your medium with your dash momentum to a standing light punch.
Why is it because the other one doesn't have the range?
Yeah, it doesn't have the range.
Oh.
So the micro
Wow,
dash
that's weird. Yeah.
gives you momentum. And
Mm.
the supers have a really tight timing.
So it feels a lot like Street Fighter EX is what you're telling me.
Yeah, that's what they did. It's a lot of tight.
It's a lot of really tight shit. You're like, all right, look, you're heavy, so you gotta figure it the fuck out. There's no bouncing around on these motherfuckers. You gotta make them go. Okay.
You have to
Oh, that's
input
yeah.
it super fast.
interesting. Well, if there was anything that I'm gonna have a forte at, it's execution speed.
I'm not sure why I'm doing like a crouching attack to DP motion. It's like really weird. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Mm,
It, like doesn't come out the way I want it to.
yeah.
I'll probably work.
I mean, that's all practice, right?
Yeah.
Eventually you figure it out, but there's probably just an awkward timing to it because it's all heavy. Okay, so as for me, Gotobun no Hanayome is a manga I've been reading for a while now. A friend turned me on to it. It's really fun. It's this guy. He's really smart at school. He's also broke, and he's has a tough time. He takes care of his little sister and shit, and then he bumps into this girl. She's shitty, and he's like, "Fuck you, bitch, whatever." But then he finds a really really good job to do some tutoring, and then the girl is one of his students. Also, she has four identical sisters. They are quintuplets.
Oh my god.
And he's like, "Oh, fuck me." Also, they're all dumb as shit. They are dumber than a brick. If you put one of these girls and a brick on an actual test, the brick would somehow get 20 and the girl would have 0. It is amazing how
She's
slow
worse
they
than
are.
our whole girl.
It is about as bad as our whole girl. Well, I think one of my favorite bits was when he first gives them a test. They go like, "Hey, so how good are you guys doing now? 10, 10, 9, 8, 10. These are out of 100, Isaiah. These are tests out of 100.
Oh, geez.
How do you get 9 points on a test out of 100?
I mean, I went to college. I seen some bad scores.
I don't. It doesn't feel feasible to me. It doesn't feel real. So yeah, they all look different.
Is that like 1 point? Sorry.
I mean,
pretty much
I
one
feel like
question answered, right?
I feel like if it's not 100 questions, it's like 3 points per question. That means they got like 3 questions, right? Maybe.
Out of 100.
Out of like 100, yeah. If it's 100 questions and each question is 1 point, then they got 9 questions right. But if it's like, let's say 20 questions, that means they got 1 question right and they got credit on another one. Like
Yeah, that's what I think.
it's absurd. It is absurd how slow they are. So they look.
And they might have guessed on a multiple choice, right?
I like to believe that they guessed.
Okay.
I think the girl who got the highest actually said she guessed. But so here's the thing: the manga opens with him getting married to a girl. You don't get to see her face, and he was like, "Oh, I remember when we first met." And then it cuts to him going to school with the quintuplets, and he's like, "Oh shit," because the actual name means like five girls, 5 brides to be married, so to speak. So it's like, which one did he marry? Because he marries one of them. And then it's a harem thing, so they all really like him. Also, the only difference between them is their hair. Their faces and their voices are supposed to be identical. Also, they sometimes style their hair to look like the others because no one can fucking tell.
As a joke.
It is. No, just to avoid shit. It's like one of them is an actress, so she actively pretends. Another girl is like a homebody. She's like she just wears headphones around her hair. Like I said, they all have different hairstyles, but they can somehow mimic each other. I don't really get it. I imagine what they do is they just style their hair the same way, and then they just go fuck it. Even though they have radically different hairstyles, like 2 of them have very short hair. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. That's what the manga implies. So yeah, they're all
personalities the same.
No, they're all completely different.
Okay, so their styling and their personality.
Correct. They're completely different, except for the fact that they all have the same face because they're quintuplets. Twins, but 5.
And they're dumb. They're all dumb.
Oh, they're dumb as shit. So he decides, I'll be your tutor for this good amount of money. Ah, shit! Now I have to teach you guys how to get your shit together. And by the time I'm in the manga, they pretty much all very clearly like him. There's only one of them that's kind of ambiguous. One of them straight up said it, and they have a whole thing going on now. So yeah, Gotabu no Hanayome is coming out in about a month. It's coming out on the 10th of January, and I'm excited.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Your anime. I should look into that.
Oh, you should read the manga, dude. It's so good. It's like when Renai Boken, I told you get in, and then the show came out, we're like, wow, no Shikimi? I'm upset. Well, that's it for Manga Palate this week.
And there was more stuff going on after Shigemi. Oh wait, yeah, we're ending the episode. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to just drag these people along with us for nothing.
Okay. We should keep these more concise, I guess.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Like, oh shit, I'm hype. It's just us talking about a thing we're excited about, but that doesn't mean we have to go into a 3-hour talk about something else.
Okay.
Unless you want to turn this into the best friend cast where we just shoot the shit for 5 hours. I don't know if I want to do that.
We might end up just doing that.
Oh God, I am afraid of my future as Pat. I fear. I fear deeply. Anyway, this has been Manga Palate, and I hope you got like the "aw shit I'm hype" segment because we're gonna test it out for a bit and see if it sticks. Thank you for listening, and I mean, if you're still here, you get it.
Buy our merch.
Fuck you. I'm not spooky. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Pikachu. Oh, that motherfucker. All right, bye.